keep this short so they can fill you guys in, but we want to thank Paul and his staff for meeting with us and hosting the meeting at the DL. We were able to discuss some of the things and some of our concerns, and he admitted that it's a trust issue that we have, which is understandable in regards to the condition. And in the interim, what we did, we sent ahead to Alex and to Paul some stipulations that we thought that we considered, being that there's some discrepancy in what we foiled, the 68 pages that we foiled, in understanding the method of operation and the stipulations that are on file, as well as other things, versus what he read to us at the meeting, which was a resolution from the committee board dated April 2012, but mistakenly for May, it was April 2012, and so we cannot find that resolution anywhere with the SLA, and he said it could be a backlog thing, and so even basing on the facts of that resolution, he's still not in compliance with those resolutions, as well as the ABC law issues that we showed you last time, and that I'll give the floor to Megan to make her point. Thanks.
Megan Brand, and I'm a member of the Lower East Side Dweller. And I was at attendance for the resident meeting that Paul and his staff held on Thursday. And he assured us that he has been and will continue to operate within the stipulations set for him. And he also encouraged us to move forward and to also help him rebuild the trust between the DL and the community. Unfortunately, I'm standing here to say that I don't feel comfortable trusting him because, and I'll explain, this is what I have. So, ever since the September 16th meeting, I've been monitoring the events that the DL has been hosting, and this is in addition to what the dwellers submitted on the 16th. This is just a nice packet. I made one for the sake of trees. And it has links to videos, flyers from third-party promoters, photos from attendees, all that showcase how the DL is not in compliance with the stipulations that they have agreed to be in compliance with. I do want to highlight just two events that have happened recently and one that's about to actually happen to demonstrate how they don't abide by the stipulations. And just to remind you, all these descriptions that to give is strictly based on what I've seen online, not what I have come to my own conclusions. This is strictly from what's provided. And a repeat event that they have is called the Everyday People Brunch, which Paul described as being just a regular daytime brunch. However, videos online showcase DJs and live acts performing music, and the DJs are playing music at levels that aren't ambient, which is, according to stipulations, what they're supposed to be at. Everyone's dancing and drinking. The New York Post actually wrote an article about this event stating how for $30 you can get brunch, and then there's also 3 hours of unlimited mimosas, which for me is a huge red flag. So, and anyways, I'm going to do time.
Can you finish maybe?
Yeah, can she finish? We'll yield our time for someone else that has 2 minutes. From another people will go. Is that possible?
It would me. And another, this is the last example. It's an upcoming party. It's actually coming up this Saturday on the 12th. It's called the Day Party. And it has been this is a repeat event. It's happened in the past, and it was actually within the packet that the dweller submitted on the 16th. Videos again and photos again showcase that this isn't just an average lounge party. There is DJs playing music that I can hear from 2 blocks away. I live on Rivington between Essex and Ludlow. I would never hear the music from the bar below me, Maryland, yet I can somehow hear the music from the DL. When it was happening during, well, oh, I know you're shaking your head, but this is just what I've experienced in my neighborhood. This part in particular has been a nuisance to the neighborhood, and we have spoken about this before at the previous meetings. Again, I doubt this party will be canceled, and it does violate the stipulations that are set for the DL, but it's been promoted for weeks, and I don't see any effort made forth to stop having this party or to put it within the reasoning that it's supposed to operate. The only thing that I've learned from these meetings, the resident meetings with the DL, the meetings here, is that the the DL is capable of making empty promises, and they have no regards to the laws and stipulations put in place. I find that extremely disrespectful to the community, and I feel like they've had enough time to prove themselves as operators. When the DL was shut down the first time and Paul was made an operator, I feel like that was the DL's second chance. And then we were asked as a community when we found out there was additional events that shouldn't have been happening. That was a third chance, and here we are again. And I'm wondering, how many chances is the DL allowed to have, considering the type of operator that they have become? I just kindly ask you to stick by the original decision to not approve their liquor license.
The other three speakers, so you can decide who's going to
Yeah,
give up
Sarah,
and
Sarah,
not.
the only speaker, so.
No.
You wanna say
I
something?
want to say something.
Okay, Bob wants to say something. Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
First, I was out of New York City for the whole summer on the weekend, so I don't know what went on the weekends. But I came back on the last Friday of August, and from mid-afternoon until late at night, there was screaming and shouting and yelling and singing at the top of their lungs, about 100 people from the open rooftop of DL. Far beyond anything I've ever experienced in the neighborhood. But I'd like to say something in that this is a community board. I don't need to teach anybody anything. Everyone knows what I'm going to say. This is a community board. It's supposed to take care of the community. It's not a business board. I've always had a sense that the businesses come in and they have as much time as they want to explain what they're going to do, and then the people who come in to oppose them are treated like protesters. We live in the neighborhood. This is our neighborhood. Someone comes in to open up a bar, there might be 2 owners or 3 owners and 4 employees, 6, 7 people, but the noise and the havoc that they create by the music are affecting hundreds of families within hearing distance of them. And it's, in reality, they should be coming to us and saying, will you please let us into your neighborhood? Because we live there. We also have children here. When they make noise, and the kids can't do their homework, and the kids can't go to sleep, and the residents can't go to sleep, when they present themselves, if they have 10 or 15 minutes to present themselves, then everyone else should have the same amount of time to present their issue. And if you ask them additional questions, which you many times do, to clarify, and they misrepresent their answer, the other people should have as much time as they took. It should be a 50-50 proposition. It's a community. They come in with their few owners, they take the money, and they take it out of our neighborhood. A lot of the smaller business here, the restaurants, the smaller this, the small that, they keep the money in the community. Please, it's a community, it's not an opportunity to come in and make a show and leave.
Okay, either Sarah or Marvin?
Yeah. Yan mentioned the April 2012 stipulations that we did not see on file with the state, but just in response to those, since that's what the last resolution was from the board regarding this license, I just want to talk about a few of them. It talks about the second floor, which is supposed to be an event and support space, which will be for private parties and to accommodate patrons waiting to enter the ground and third floors. As of 9/26/2013, the DL was non-compliant. It was used as a lounge and club, the second floor. For a promoted event with bottle service, it was not restricted to private events. There's no indication that the area was used as a holding area. There were DJs on that floor anyway. So we asked to remove the use of the private space and designate it as a holding area. We asked for some clarification, never got a response from Paul. Next stipulation, on all the floors will have food service within 1 hour of closing. We have no suggestion, they're currently non-compliant, I don't know how to make them compliant. It will close all doors and windows on the ground floor and second floor at 10 p.m. every night, and will close retractable roof on the third floor by 11, the times that you have there, 11 and 12 on varying days. Currently they're not compliant. We ask that all open spaces be closed by 10 as in accordance with CB3 policy, and that they install additional soundproofing in the roof since it's very, very loud, and that they close the outdoor smoking terrace on the 3rd floor at all hours, which I don't believe is actually listed anywhere. On the ground floor, there will be only recorded background music consisting of iPod and no live music for DJs. As of 9/26, they were non-compliant. On the 2nd floor and 3rd floor, there will be recorded background music consisting of iPod and DJs, which I don't understand background music consisting of DJs. And there may be occasional live music. Currently non-compliant, DJs are not at background level, live music is featured at public events. People north of Delancey can hear the music in their homes, so we ask for no DJs in the facility. No outside promoters, scheduled performances. They only occur as not part of regular operations. They're currently non-compliant. We ask for notice of all private events to be sent to the community and posted on nearby blocks 14 days in advance.
Can you wrap up, please?
Yeah, or my last one that I have here is that it will not apply for cabaret license. It's currently operating a legal cabaret, so whatever, whatever that's worth. Yeah, that's it.
Go ahead.
Yes. We met with the dwellers last Thursday. I thought it was a rather productive meeting. There still seems to be some confusion that they seem to think that I had something to do with how the Liquor Authority has your resolution or doesn't have your resolution with my file or my application. I can't answer that. I said that to them. I can't speak to how the Liquor Authority is operating. A couple of things that came out of that meeting was close all windows and roof as we get closer to capacity. Right now, we stipulated in April 2012 that we would close the roof and the windows. I think it's, at the same time, it's 11 and 12, I think, 12 on the weekends. We've now been closing them much earlier. One of the L.E.S. dwellers asked if we would make our staff available to them if any of them came up to them on the street. We've now made that a policy. Noise obviously is an issue for us. We've now switched all of our music and lowered everything to make everything background music. We've always said that we would allow to have that we would have DJs except on the first floor. We've now canceled anything that would have ever had a DJ on the first floor. In terms of working with outside promotions, we produce everyday people. We brought them in individually and put them together, so it is a DL production of them. As far as a 3-hour limited open mimosa thing, we never did that. That might have been a misprint in the New York Post, but that's not something that's policy or anything that we've ever done before. As far as the day party is concerned, I'm not even sure what it is, and I don't think it's on my calendar. We have another party that we produce. I think it's called Assorted Flavors, and it's a very similar event to Everyday People, where it's a day brunch party, and it's over by 9 or 10. I basically, even though the license had already been renewed, and it was renewed prior to your September meeting, we made it a point to make sure that we showed up. Obviously, there were some issues, there was some back and forth. Then, I guess at your full board, there were some other concerns about what to present to the Liquor Authority. We stood by all that, and yet we still said that we wanted to meet with them. We're still going to continue to meet with the interested parties. The event that Robert spoke of was canceled right afterwards. We've never done an event with that group again. We've made some mistakes. We do keep our kitchen open an hour before closing as stipulated now. One of the things that our original stipulations had stated was tapas. We've been a full service restaurant now since August of last year. We aren't doing tapas menu, we do a full service menu. And we do a limited menu up until about 3 a.m. every night, or up until an hour within closing. There are some nights that we close early. Tuesday we close early. We're currently closed on Mondays. We very rarely are doing anything on Sunday nights anymore. We are being, we've added more security. We continue to work with NYPD on other matters, which they, as far as I know, don't have any complaints on file in terms of what we've done with them. That's it. That's basically my response. It was my understanding that what came out of that meeting was a better understanding of how we can work together. And, it's unfortunate that that's their position yet again, but here we are.
Yes, sir. Please don't repeat what you said before.
No,
Okay, thank you.
going forward, can you please pay attention to, one, obviously when anyone has concerts, there's complete soundproofing. Two, when people have live music, there's an issue with open windows and doors. I have a very nice place right across the street from me, and they have very quiet, live, amplified music during the evening, except that they've been keeping their windows and their doors open. And when it gets very, very quiet at night, when all the truck traffic and everything goes down, all you can hear is that music, and so you have to listen to it for hours instead of talking to someone or listening to your own television or your own music. So please be aware in the future that open windows and doors, they shouldn't be allowed to be open if there's going to be music.
And on the rare occasion that we do have live acts, which we have very rarely, I would also agree to stipulate and add to our stipulations that we will close all windows and doors. As far as the smoking patio on the third floor, I wanted to address that issue. The smoking patio on the third floor actually helps us keep people off the street in front of the venue. So that's, I don't know where they got it. I never even heard of closing the smoking patio at a certain time, but it's basically a patio outside so we can allow our patrons to smoke.
I'm not sure what the law is with respect to it. Do you know, Susan? The law on the rooftop
I
regarding?
don't know, is that, the Department of Health is okay with or something?
They've been there, they've inspected it, they approved all of our signage, they're fine with it.
I never heard of it before. If you'd like me to investigate it, I'd be happy to, but I've never,
That would be great, because I don't know
Sure.
where the regulations are. I only know how it
We have
applies to
to-
backyards or sidewalk cafes.
Pardon?
I said I only know how it applies to
Sidewalk
backyards or
cafe, you
sidewalk
have to
cafes.
apply, you have a no smoking section. I will be happy to investigate.
Sure, go ahead, Tim.
Can you repeat what you just said about closing all the windows and doors? Are you going to?
Well, lately I've been doing it a lot earlier than what our agreed upon hours are. I'm not understanding where I don't even know who made the comment, but where they're getting their information that things are open past the hours that we've agreed to, because that is something that I do religiously. I've already agreed that I would close, I think the language that I came up with for Robert was that we would close all the windows and roof as we get closer to as we approach capacity to help mitigate the sound. So that's something that we would agree to. And on the rare occasion, and I do mean rare occasion, it happens once in a blue moon, maybe once a month, we'll have a small act or something on the third floor just as part of an event that we're producing, or if it's a private event, they've asked for a live act, we'll do that. I'll also stip, and I don't recall any of our windows and doors being open during that period of time, but if they were, we'll make sure that they're closed from here on out.
Okay, so, let's see, so that I can better understand this, with respect to the windows being open past the hours that we have, what exactly, and I'm asking Sarah because she made that statement, no. You said that they violate that stipulation, so when was the last time that happened and how late were the windows open until?
Last Thursday night, they were open. Oh, I'm sorry, Wednesday.
No.
Wednesday night, last Wednesday night, they were open the night before we met. They were open definitely past
They were closed.
10 o'clock. We saw them.
She said, I have a video camera, if you guys want to take a look at it.
Open until-
But I'd just like to make a
All right,
comment on the capacity stipulation, and that is not enforceable for us unless we're in.
Okay, and we'll address it as we address it. No, we can't really comment about that right now. So until what time were they open on Wednesday night?
I heard at least after 11 o'clock. I didn't witness it myself. I was told by neighbors. I was inside. I was doing work.
All
We
right.
don't have to make.
And you said live music on the rooftop is no more than once a month?
No, I said on occasion we do it. I don't think we've done it more than once or twice a month.
That's what I just said.
But you always say, well, I'm adding the
So
twice.
once or twice, because you said once a month last time, so I'm just restating what you
When did I
said.
say once a month?
You said rare, very rare.
Rarely is once
One
a,
time per month that I wrote it down.
it's rare, it's about once a month, but
So
every
when
once
you
in a
tell
while.
me I'm restating your words incorrectly, I'm actually writing them.
You want to say 16 to 18 times a year, does that make it
No,
easier?
no, I want to know, is it once or twice a month?
It's 1 to 2 times a month. Very rarely is it 2 times a month.
Okay, DJs on the roof, how often?
DJs are on the roof. Right now, we have 4 nights a week.
Until when?
Until closing, but sometimes we close early on nights like Wednesday and Thursday.
On the second floor, how often is it open to the public?
Fridays and Saturdays usually.
And when it's open, does it have DJs?
Yes.
At this point, what does the structure on the roof consist of?
Could you be more specific?
Yeah, what's there?
What do you mean? There's a bar.
The structure, so there's an open patio, is that a patio that's unenclosed by any space?
Correct.
The enclosed space, is it constructed of metal with glass partitions, is it constructed of concrete, is it constructed of wood, how is it
So
built?
the original structure was a 2-story structure. We added a 3rd floor with the steel frame. We have a retractable roof. The window, the walls, the exterior, the walls facing Delancey and Ludlow Street are basically glass doors that open and close, which we are now keeping closed. What else? The back of the building, the south part of the building, Ludlow, is I believe concrete and mason. I think that's right. It's concrete. Concrete.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ken.
So, can we ask the applicants to close those windows all the time?
We can ask the applicant anything.
Sure.
All the time,
Yeah, I mean, look,
all years, not just the winter. Because if you're familiar with your building, because the windows still, when you open the windows, all the sun just like escapes from your
right,
building.
but there's something else that you guys need to be aware of, and I've got a sound log which I keep on a regular basis. Because of where we're located on Delancey and Ludlow, we have a tremendous amount of ambient traffic noise from the approach to the Williamsburg Bridge. So we take sound readings probably 6-7 times a night with our technicians throughout the night, making sure that we're within the commercial code. So obviously I know that doesn't explain or stop quality of life issues with residences, but we're well within those rights. I would agree that my issue with agreeing to what you just suggested is merely this. On a day like Saturday afternoon, when it's a really nice, when it was nice warm weather and we're getting later in the season, we actually kept our windows open until about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I believe, or 9:30, 10 or something. But we got them closed early, and I closed the roof right at that time. It invites more people up there, and it's much more laid back. It's not high energy. It's kind of what it's designed to be. If there's a compromise, I would say certainly by 8 p.m. because that gives me from 5 to 8. I don't open up the 3rd floor before 5 p.m. usually.
Every day, 5 to 8?
I would close the windows. I would close the windows at 8, which to me is a good compromise.
So you will open the window from 5 to 8?
No, I don't necessarily, you're misunderstanding. I don't always open the windows. We don't always do that.
I understand.
But on the occasion that we do open the windows, if you'd like them to be closed by a certain time, I could agree to 8 o'clock, which I think would be a compromise.
What about the daytime? You will not open the window until 5?
If I have an event during the day on Saturdays, the windows will not be open. During the day, the windows will not be open.
So this event, this open air, the DL rooftop that starts at 2, 319 people went, that's not what we're talking about, this is not affected by what,
No,
September 28th. This is different?
I don't know how they got a count on it, but I don't recall that event.
So you're saying that you would
Is that
close,
Arana's? Oh, yeah, we closed the windows for that, absolutely.
so you're saying you would, You're saying, yeah, you're saying that you would close the windows for the structure that's on the roof at 8 o'clock?
By 8 o'clock, and during the day on Saturday if I have a day event or Sunday day event.
It's just the roof of the entire building.
The windows on the second floor don't open, and we have large accordion-style doors on the restaurant on the first floor that open to Delancey and Ludlow. We very rarely open the Ludlow side. On rare occasion, we open the Delancey side, but usually for brunch or just, from 5 to 6 or 7 until it starts getting, and it's getting chillier now, so windows are gonna stay closed.
Were you willing to comply with the same window closing hours to your roof?
For the restaurant, I mean, once again, you're talking about mostly, contrary to what you've heard today, you're talking about mostly conversational noise, which is masked by Delancey, which is masked by the traffic. It's not, there's no DJ on the first floor, there's none of that type of activity anymore on the first floor, so that's all stopped.
Well, I can walk by your, your establishment, I hear the noise and the music kind of, coming out from your place and.
On the first floor?
Yeah.
All right, I'll agree at 8 p.m. How about that? I'll agree. Same time as upstairs.
But what time, can you also limit you will not open the doors until 5 p.m.? So you kind of limit your, you kind
Well,
of,
I'm open for brunch on Saturday and Sunday, so I would not agree to that.
what about weekdays?
No, I don't open during the weekdays. If I do an event during the week, it's either a corporate event or it's a meeting of some sort, like we've hosted some events with the L.E.S.